Hello web developers, this is PJ Web Dev, and the web development changes at the lightning speed. And as a web developer, if you want to be good, if you want to be on top of the game, you need to keep up with the pace of web development. It's not easy to do, but today I want to show you 4 websites that can help you keep up to date with the latest and greatest of fundamental web technologies. Let's get started. And by the way, you will also find information about these 4 websites in my Medium article. I will link the article below the video. So let's get started with the 4 websites that will help you stay up to date with web technologies, with fundamental web technologies. And the first one is State of CSS, and this is State of CSS 2021. On this website you will find aggregated responses from almost 9,000 developers all around the world that answer some questions about how they use CSS. And on this page, for example, have information about all of these developers, where they come from, what language they speak, their age, and things like that, so demographics. And then further on the page you will find information what they have actually answered. So on this feature page, for example, you see different CSS features like position sticky, flexbox, grid, flexbox gap, object fit, tab index, and many others. And on this page you can find out, for example, the usage ratio. So these developers responded if they use a particular feature. For example, flexbox is 98.9 usage ratio, grid 83.5, or calc function 94.9. So this gives us kind of overview about the usage of CSS function, CSS features among many developers all around the world. And here we have some more detailed information because this survey has been running for the last 3 years. We can compare the adoption and usage of the features over the years, like CSS grid, flexbox, how this has changed over the years, and whether the usage is increasing or decreasing. So it gives us information about the state of different features of CSS over the years. And this is different categories like layout, shapes and graphics, interactions, and others. Also quite useful page is technologies, and this is some kind of matrix. It gives us information about the state of different CSS technologies like Tailwind, Bootstrap, and they are in different areas. So for example, like low usage, high satisfaction, high usage, high satisfaction. So this gives us information about whether to learn a particular technology. Like we can see, we have a section avoid, and we have some CSS frameworks and libraries that, in accordance to responses from the survey, we should avoid in our work as web developers. Another section is CSS frameworks. This gives us information about the state of the frameworks, CSS frameworks among developers. So here we have different categories like satisfaction, interest, usage, and awareness. And we can see that in the satisfaction category, Tailwind is definitely on top, on the first place, and Bootstrap, for example, is quite low. But when we switch into usage, we can see that Bootstrap is still leading the game, and the Tailwind is growing over the last 3 years, but it's still in terms of usage significantly behind Bootstrap. So that's an indication that Bootstrap is still going strong in 2021, despite the fact that the satisfaction of Bootstrap is quite low, but the usage is still quite high. And we have also information about different plugins here and other CSS technologies. And a similar website is State of CSS. This particular one is for 2020 and CSS was for 2021 and JS is for 2020, so a little bit older. Again, we have how many developers responded to the survey, almost 24,000, which is quite a big number, and where they come from and things like that. And also in terms of features, different features of JavaScript like async await, promises, local storage, fetch. We can see the adoption and awareness among developers, which gives us good indication how the language is adopted among web developers. And in case we don't know some of these highly adopted technologies, then it gives us indication that we should probably have a look at it and learn in the near future. And again, comparison of these different functions over the last couple of years. So here we have a technologies page, and this page gives us change over time of different JavaScript technologies like frameworks and libraries, and so we can see how they change from negative opinions and have not used to positive opinions and have used. And we can see that technologies like TypeScript, React, Express, Webpack, GraphQL, these are going in sort of positive and have used direction. For example, Gulp is going in opposite direction, so it gives us kind of a good idea about different JavaScript technologies, how they change over time among developers, which also can give us indication what technology would be good to learn. And here we have comparison of front-end frameworks, and we can see 2022 is Svelte on the first place, and then React and Vue in terms of satisfaction, and then in terms of usage, React, then Angular, then Vue and Svelte. So here we can see React is most used frameworks among developers. Another website is ES Proposals, and on this website we can see the latest features approved to the JavaScript language. And as we can see, we have different stages here, from proposal, draft, candidate and finished, and we have the strict description of all of these stages, what they mean. And we can see that stage 4 finished. Proposal is ready to be included in the standard, which means that these particular functions are ready to be included in the JavaScript language. We can see the latest functionalities of JavaScript that have been recently or are about to be implemented into the specification of the language. And if we can click on any particular function, we can see description, who are the authors, and the usage, how to use a particular feature of the language, which I think is great help in terms of keeping up to date in the changes of the JavaScript language. So this is proposals.es. And the fourth website I want to show you is probably the most known among all of these, and this is Can I Use. And this website is great in terms of showing us how different features of CSS and JavaScript are implemented in different web browsers. So if we can search here, but we can also click on most search features, for example, and we can see Flexbox I think it is widely adopted among web browsers because we can see everything is green here, and a WebP image format as well, apart from the fact that we have some issues in Safari, so not quite ready yet. So if you are planning to use any of the features we found out on any of these 3 websites, then it's good idea just to go to caniuse.com and just check if the browsers we want to support in our website or web application support CSS or JavaScript function we want to use in our project. There you have it. 4 websites that will help you stay on top of web technologies with the latest features. I hope this video was useful for you. If it was useful, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel for more web development videos. Thank you very much for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.